Alright, so we. Morning and still everyone's here except we're waiting on Jen. So maybe we could. I don't know, did everybody get a chance to look at the minutes? I thought that was. Spot on.
Yep.
So I guess I'll move that we accept the minutes as they're written.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. So we're gonna have the folks from the farm to school effort here a little later, so I thought we could kind of, why don't we do, you want, Dave, you want to talk about the signs here, give us an update? Okay.
Got a new quote. For 5 signs with the artwork. Comes out to $495 for 5 signs with the artwork.
Wow, okay, great. And you want to do 5?
Well, yeah, that's what the quote was for, we said 5, so if you want to.
No, I mean, we have 1,600 to spend.
And I have, yours too, for the 2 signs. There.
Okay, yep. So, Amy LaValle, who works here in the town office, and Jimmy Galanka both wanted a sign for a display. It's gonna be both on Route 5, where we're not allowed to put one. It just has to be off of the right of way.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm sure Jim will put it on his farm,
Right.
so. Okay, well, that's great. How,
I get, we have to figure out, I'm gonna bring up that one picture or digital, you gotta have it digital.
yeah,
Take a little time to get it digital, to get it. On
Digitized.
They can do it.
but, okay, but Joanne can do that, or?
We got that one copy we had, or we had, I should have brought it, the big sign with the blue background, that's a digital copy. The
Okay,
only thing is the tractor in there is, could be copyright, because it's not, they took it off another picture,
okay,
so we can get the tractor, but they're gonna, when I go up there, we're gonna figure it out.
okay.
too.
So do you need a check? Is that kind of the next thing?
I think so, they said, I got the, I can leave this here. Keep it.
Yeah, I'll take it, but,
They want a deposit for like $971.
okay, which is like
Might as well.
three quarters of.
Might as well.
Yeah, it's the final balance is $323.75.
Okay, I bet the balance,
Have 2 copies.
well, okay. Why don't we, all right, let me just talk to Peter. So it's like 971 versus like 1280 something.
Yeah, 1295.
905.
I don't know, maybe this needs some, Jeff.
Yeah, it probably is. I'll let them decide, if they wanna do it with 2 checks or 1 check. And how much was,
Right, so.
Yeah.
how much was the,
Yours?
yeah, the 2 for,
$478.13, because you're not, the town doesn't get charged tax.
right,
This is private, so you are charged sales tax of $28.
all right, so that's about 239 a piece. All right, that's
Yeah,
less
that's
than
no
I,
artwork.
less than I told.
That's.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, that's, yeah,
Yeah.
The artwork. The artwork was included.
okay. Well, let me talk to Peter tomorrow and we'll just,
This is for you, that it's made out to you. This
oh, okay, so.
is a 2 stone.
And I promise not to mark anything up. I just completed my ethics training. Can't profit.
Do we have to do that every year?
2 years.
2 years?
Well, there's one, and I did want to mention it. Oh, well, so let's finish up the signs here. So let me talk to Peter and I'll call you, I'll find you and we'll just.
Yeah, you go by
what's
the time you stop.
Yeah.
Go up there. I'll bring what you should bring whatever you have.
Yep,
So,
okay,
So you just need like a free stock image of a tractor? to make it
yeah,
happen?
because, the ones we had, they're,
The formal and the.
yeah.
but it sounds like Hale can provide that,
You know,
right?
it's nice tractors and stuff, but it's almost, it's something that.
They may be able to just make a minor change to it and it'll be
Yeah,
okay.
it would be nice to tractor that Joanne did, it looks nicer, I mean, it looks more like a farmer. Cause it has,
Yeah.
you know, the baseball hat, maybe change, get the sort of a straw hat, the baseball hat, you know, the most farmers got baseball hats, they don't have straw hats,
Yeah,
you know, that kind of thing, so.
okay,
So
so,
it seems really, helpful and interested, so they really wanna get going as soon as we can.
okay. Okay, so we,
And I told them, you know, we'll get the meeting today. So, great. We get information.
so my understanding is that we've chosen the artwork that was done by Joanne.
Right.
And that there was a picture that
Right,
had,
that was like a digital that she did back then for somebody, did her for her, so. I
okay,
can bring up that picture, because I'm gonna have a different kind of background.
right,
Show, that's basically shows a different kind of background.
okay, so nobody's talking about using that tractor image, we're just talking about using Joanne's.
Right,
Okay, I just,
unless they can't do it, but I would think they can be able to do it, everything's digital, they can get, you know, they got the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You probably scan it somehow.
if they can't, then we'll find out why they can't, we'll just take care of.
Yeah.
Take care. Okay, we have our next. We have our next move on that, that's great. Yeah,
Curious, will these be installed by the spring, you think, or?
I guess.
Yeah.
Probably, I would think if we got the signs, you know.
yeah, I think some afternoon, you know, once the signs are made, I think they want to put them right up.
Yeah, the highway department, he said it's almost something, they were gonna do it.
Yeah, it'll-
And they got the poles, any kind of poles that would work, you know, so. Right. Of course, they're pretty good size signs, at 18 by 24.
So we're gonna like mark, like put a stake in the ground or something for they go over?
I think they're gonna try to put them on existing poles.
Oh, okay.
So, and if that doesn't work out for any reason, I think there was some thinking we might
Okay,
have.
we have, 5 different locations, I think 2 on River Road, they're up by, coming from Conway by the reservoir, you know, there's the line right there. From the reservoir, coming from Williamsburg. From being to Williamsburg this way, the way we put one there, and that's someplace by the school or
say
something.
on the school entryway.
Those are 5 locations.
Mhm.
Great place to start.
Yeah. All right, good. So I guess next on the list here is the Whately Scoop Spring Summer Inclusion. The big beautiful Bill has volunteered. Arm twisted to be the, to be the liaison to the scoop. So.
Okay, and we need to buy, was it,
I put my most recent scoop in the back.
oh, excellent, excellent.
In case you haven't been familiar with this.
I was gonna have to track down my scoop it all.
Yeah, no, I
fine.
Okay, it gets mailed
That
out.
might look stupid, but not always.
Anyway, I think it says in the back when the.
Yeah.
So that's, in case you're 3 years out.
Seems like it's more than 4 times a year, it seems like.
It does, but it's not. Yeah,
It seems like always, the mailbox, there's a school.
So, I think it would be great if we hit the next edition with sort of maybe an explanation of what everyone's gonna see as they drive around town.
yeah,
And I honestly, I sat down a couple times because we kept missing scoop deadlines by like 4 hours. And I was sitting down to try to write something after having read this right, like actually read the right to farm bylaws, and it's really kind of like, you know, it's written to protect farmers from nuisance lawsuits, and the land, you know, it's like kind of hard. I know Bill's gonna do a good job, but I think it'll be tricky to kind of not sound like, hey, we're gonna do whatever we want.
right.
You know what I mean?
And you're gonna deal with
And
it.
there's nothing you can do about it.
Right.
This is why, so it's gonna be a little bit tricky to tone the thing right for, you know, just
The public.
general consumption.
Yeah.
But,
You could add something about like pamphlets and the farm and the signs going up to kind of tone it down a little bit, you know, and like have it be sort of an inclusive community vibe to it.
Yeah.
So, you know, how important agriculture is in the town of Whately, you know? Yeah.
And we got the best, we got a wordsmith on it.
That's correct.
Would you make a note to the,
there,
something about, Joanne Denny for her work?
Yeah,
You know,
yes.
Time.
Yeah, Joanne Denny.
I mean, sometimes that's local artists.
It actually might be kind of nice if we could get a picture. Do they do pictures in the school?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are. Three on every page, you know. I wonder if we could get a picture of, maybe Joanne with, next to one of the signs.
So she was the artist for this.
Correct,
Okay.
yeah.
It'd be good for spring or summer,
Yeah,
spring or summer.
and then I wonder if maybe we could get the updated pamphlet in the June. The June edition.
Sorry, we threw you off. No,
It's okay, just hung out with the folks over there for a while.
Oh.
That was like, they're like, well,
None
this
of
is
these guys.
thing.
Right.
It's all right.
Like, oh, wait a minute, they're talking about important things. Oh, thanks for coming, Teresa.
Thanks for having me.
I don't know, any thoughts about that? You wanna write something about it, maybe bring it for us to look at next month?
Sure, we're talking about, I mean, there's a lot of things we can discuss and
Yeah, I think I mean,
I just got a good couple subjects here. Let's do it, we're limited in what we can.
yeah,
We're doing something every,
yeah, every issue, you know, I think
Yeah.
a lot of town committees, you know, the historical society, et cetera, kind of checks in. You know, this is,
Yeah, the housing committee and stuff.
housing
and
committee, the giving garden here, you know, housing committee up there, yeah, so, you know, there's. And I think it's also kind of an advertisement for participation to an extent too.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, so I don't know, the signs, look for the pamphlet. Participating in, garden renovations at the elementary school. Okay. All right, great, thank you for doing that.
Haven't done it yet.
Proud of you already. Okay, and then this is what I have. Thank you. All right, so Teresa is here from the farm to school group. Just you or Megan or no?
Just, she had a school committee meeting.
Oh. So you're in the sort of, stages of planning, some renovations of the garden, you're kind of trying to jive with,
Yeah.
the landscaping proposals that were submitted.
And I made some copies.
Awesome, oh,
So
that's
I
great,
can
so,
share those. These are it's the approved draft.
Yep.
So it's not gonna be finalized, I think, until the spring. But there is, and I think he said, how much space was allowable, but it's a very healthy.
I think it was 2,000
Was
square.
it was- yeah, which is great. It's small. But you can see the garden beds, the raised vegetable and herb beds, 1, 2, 4, 6, 8.
Yep.
On there, so, yeah, so that was good, because that was, one of my concerns. Thinking about going into the spring is just making sure we were fitting in that. Within that bigger plan.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there looks like there's a lot of room, and then on the back, I believe it's phased. Proposed phasing schedule, yeah. Or just,
Okay,
it just explains the phases, I think,
right, they weren't gonna try to do everything at once.
right?
Okay.
We were actually gonna try, to schedule a kind of community garden day in April. To try to get folks, more buy-in from the community, more people involved. And we have a small budget for materials and soil and things like that. But I wondered if we could coordinate in terms of timing,
Mhm.
and if you can let me know, materials and equipment wise, we can make some recommendations, that would be great. Of things that we should prepare for.
Right, right. So do you have a sense of what you want to try to get done this spring?
Well, I mean, anything we do is gonna be an improvement. I mean, right, like,
There's nowhere to go but up.
there's nowhere to go but up. So I think you had mentioned some renovation on the raspberries. Because kids love the raspberries there.
Yeah.
And so we wanna make sure we keep them, but maybe clean them up a little bit, and I can contact Morris and see, if we can get some more. To fill in where we need to.
This is Tim Morris.
Oh, hi.
Tim here, we might be looking for some donated blueberry and raspberry.
You're in it.
I think I know where we can get those.
Do you know a guy?
Contact person I would use is Rachel at the office. Rachel Manette.
Okay, yep, and,
I've heard this name.
okay,
But, we're pretty. The school hasn't shared any like specific needs. They just want a space where they can get out there in the dirt.
yep,
We've been working with, in each of the schools, we have kind of a lead educator. And so at Whately, it's Amy Tibbetts in the 3rd grade. And she's been wonderful. She's just super anxious to get the kids out there. So, we're actually starting with, some garlic. We're doing some unconventional garlic planting. We're seeing some spring garlic and doing some containers and things like that in the classroom. And we actually we're purchasing an indoor grow rack for that class so that each of the classes within Whately can have their own like tray and starts. We were hoping we could do some starters for when we get the garden and just get something out there. So, just get it going.
sure. Sure.
Because these plans are super exciting and like awesome and comprehensive, and it's gonna take a while. So we're trying to get things.
It's ambitious.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, we're just beginning to do the planning for the garden restoration, so I'm really open. We are very open
Sure.
to ideas.
Well, I know, I had been talking with Amy about trying to support. I thought they were gonna do a community garden,
Yeah,
and we were talking about supporting that, and then I'm not hearing too much talk about that. Eric, are you tuned into the?
Yeah, so I have a little bit, I was gonna say at the end, I can give a little,
Okay,
it's slow. They've done like updates on mission statement and values and kind of what the proposal is. They have a meeting on Thursday that I'm hoping to zoom into. And then I'll be able to report more, but right now I have like some basics on what like the mission statement is and
okay,
things like that. And they're gonna do a scoop article, and they're trying to, get people interested in the idea of the project.
okay. I know I had some lumber milled to make raised beds,
right.
and it's there. And I've also got some other stuff that could go for that, for that purpose. And I know, Mike, you were talking, I can throw some fuses, potting soil at it. You could throw some compost at it.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some parent material to work with too, so.
Oh, how big are these raised beds of you roughly?
Well, that's
think
part of the
we-
plan.
I think we said a 4x4, right?
Small. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'd wanna see what the school wanted ultimately,
Yeah,
but I think the ones we're talking about for,
yeah, I'm confusing the two. I
Yeah.
think with Amy's, I just said 4x4 is a yard, so it's. Do you know what I mean? Like 4x4 a foot high is 1 yard of material,
Oh, okay,
so that keeps it like
yeah,
easy. Or you could do a 4x8, it's 2 yard, something
okay. A four,
kind of.
a 4x8, 8 inches, a 4x8 is 32 times 2/3. 64.
Is it a 4x8 is a yard? I can't remember. I had it all figured out when we were talking.
Because 4x8 is 32 square feet. And then if you multiply that by 2/3,
I can figure it out in a second, but it's a handy yard calculator that Bill and I came up with for our website.
21 1/3. 21.4, okay, so, yeah, so a 4x8 and 8 inches high is a little less than a yard.
Yeah.
So that's actually, that's kind of a good number to remember, but,
Yeah, it's a 4x8. If you don't fill it a foot, 10 inches is the yard.
okay.
Because I always tell people not to fill them all the way to the top. Because then you can't buy more compost. No, like you can't just put it in there and then never add anything.
Right, you plant,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta add some top dressing compost every year, but.
Right, okay, all right, so that gives us a good reference, but I mean, I think some folks here are ready to contribute, the actual materials. And, perhaps be reimbursed in a tiny way. If, but, it sounded like you had enough money to play with to at least get started,
I think so.
yeah. Okay. I'd love to get a couple of apple trees in there,
Yeah, I think there's space for that too.
yeah.
Cause it looks like they have like several.
Yeah.
We can probably get a cherry to put in there. We're putting some cherries in of ours this spring.
Okay.
And I'm sure I can just take one or two.
Cause, yeah, maybe you need two.
I'll talk with Bailey about it. He knows more, but, yeah, it probably is a two. And I mean, I don't know if it's of interest, but I've got a ton of chestnuts that they get pretty big. And you definitely need two to produce nuts, but they're up for grabs.
One thought I'm having about cherries is I think when they're pickable, the kids aren't gonna be there.
Well, right, yeah, they're gonna be,
July.
yeah,
Yeah.
June, July, no, yeah, they'll be a little earlier. Would think.
And the June cherries?
Yeah, let me check. Yeah,
That's just.
Summer programming, not a whole lot, but there's a little bit of
Okay.
time.
Well, if you wanted some technology on getting the blueberries and raspberry planted, you just have to contact me. We can do a little school.
Yeah,
If you wanted to.
oh, that'd be
that'd
great.
be cool.
That'd be really cool.
Okay,
One thought I had actually after I read your email there, Teresa, today was one way, we could certainly, the AgCom could earmark funds for this. How cool would this be? Like this time of year, the 6th grade plans a gift for the kindergartners, like a tree
Yeah,
or a bird bath or something for the garden, and then it gets ordered. That's something we can pay for.
Right.
And then, and then before they go in the spring, they, get the tree planted.
like their class.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then those
That's a great idea.
kindergartners do the same
Then
thing
the
when they're.
kindergartners,
Yeah.
okay, you see the thing grow up, and make fruit when they're a few years later.
Very sweet.
Great
That's
idea.
really great.
So this number 2 area, is this something that's kind of loosely planned out, or it looks like some rocks? It says natural playground.
Playground.
Is that should be, that's to the north of the basketball field. So it's gonna be like a little minefield of like, things that they can jump and climb
I think
I think these sort of snaking, stone paths are to control erosion in the natural flow of rain, coming
Mhm.
off the building and.
Yeah.
And just in general back there. I mean, if it's anything like it was in 1980, the kids are gonna be throwing these rocks at each other,
Well,
I do wonder about that. I feel like every school that we talk to about gardens, when we speak to the maintenance folks, that's like the first thing they say.
Yeah,
No small rocks.
right.
take
Um,
it from.
yeah,
It's large rocks.
well, large rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Large rocks is something
Hardwood.
our
Yeah.
farm has quite a lot of, and we'd be happy to contribute for the hardscape
Oh, wow.
rocks. We have a gravel bank, so there's lots of sort of, ranging bouldery sizes to some that are quite big, but
Oh, cool.
just need to get them transported over there. I don't think I have anything safe enough to do that right now, but when the time comes.
Yeah.
You know,
Happy
we
to
can go
do that.
pick around in there.
Yeah,
Who's the person, like, who is there?
So what you're looking at is, you could explain it as well, Leah. So
actually went to the
Okay.
walks, you know, more than I can do.
this is, Landscape Interactions is a company in Leiden that's owned by
Okay,
this guy, Evan, that's.
a designer.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and so these are, he got a grant, or the town got a grant, hired him, I guess, they're his company. To do these pollinator friendly landscaping proposals. The next thing that has to happen is the grant. Now that you have a design, you can go get the grants for the
Hire the work.
installation, the
Okay.
planting.
That's not kind of yet planned.
Yeah, this,
The
I
doers.
think this actually is finalized in June or July, maybe. And then some of this, you know, their phase 3 here at the school is 2029.
Mhm.
So this, you know. I think that's what kind of, seeing that and the timing here motivated me to try to get in and, you know, jump on the garden. In
Goes
the
by
near
fast.
future.
I'll motivate to continue with the rest of it too.
Yeah.
You know, the garden's in and.
Right.
We're seeing
People are
progress.
lost, Karen again, yeah. And you know, now that just remembering the, are chestnuts an allergen? I wonder.
Nuts, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they probably are.
Tree nut, right?
Tree
Might
nut.
not be a great choice.
I
I don't
know,
know, like, at what point are they an allergen? Is it just the pollen, or is it once they're actually shelled, because they're spike balls? So
Yeah,
you're not,
Oh,
like, that's the other thing.
they are,
Spike.
well, yeah, they might not be a great choice for,
that would be a.
I like your idea, though.
yeah, I'm just saying they're available.
Thinking about across the street and that big, like around that huge open,
Oh, sure, yeah, but parking lot,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, you definitely want them somewhere where people aren't like walking a lot or walking barefoot,
Yeah.
you know.
Make a
It
mess.
doesn't, you know, it looks like.
I mean, they're beautiful, but yeah, they're spike balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're really fun.
That can be fun to throw.
Yeah, I was just thinking.
Yeah.
Hard to pick up.
A 6-year-old mother winged or something.
Bring
Yeah.
your leather work glove.
Can the trees go in like as soon as we have them so that they can start like getting established? Or is like the work have to sort of be done when the people are hired to do the work?
Oh, I mean, I think as long as we're working kind of, you know, following this
Basic
map
plan.
as a guide, I think we could do, you know, whatever we want.
Whenever
Yeah.
they're ready.
Yep,
What kind of work is involved in the remaining, the raspberries? Like, I know you looked at them. Is it like they have been totally neglected, or do they just need to get mowed down
I
or
mean,
thinned or?
you know, there's oak, probably that oak trees, a few of them that big around growing up through it.
Okay.
I think I don't know if they've been mowed. I don't know if they get mowed in the fall
Mhm.
or if
So
they
they
look,
came before, and,
I don't know. When I saw them, it was,
well, they could have raspberries on them, then you can treat a primocane like a florocane
right.
and prune it. And you want some help in pruning that. I had a little experience.
Yeah, yeah, no, I would like to renovate it. Everything over there looks like it needs fertilizer in a bad way, and
Mhm.
the raspberries that they keep are way too dense.
Right,
Okay,
so,
it needs to be rototilled. I think the trellis needs work. They felt like, Chrissy said that they thought it was very productive. It didn't look like it could possibly be very productive to me.
well, with a lot of canes, it could have a lot of berries on it, but
Might not be
very
very,
deficient in size, yeah.
yeah.
That can
So,
be remedied if you want to set up
yeah,
a thing to remedy it,
that'll be part of our work, I think, there in the spring.
okay?
Yeah, we'll go right through it. I almost think it might be worth starting a second row. And when it's productive, then get rid of the old one.
Yeah.
I would suggest that as well.
Cause they don't last forever.
No,
Right.
How many raspberry plants were you thinking of planting? How long a row?
I think it's a 50-foot row.
25 plants.
Yeah, that's easy.
But you know, you could, you could pot those up in the classroom and then plant them out there.
Yeah.
As a, so that they have some activity, planting them, watching them start.
Oh,
I would say sometime into May, 1st of June, so you don't want they don't want to have them too leggy, but
right.
you just want to have them established. Then you dig a hole for the pot and
Yeah, maybe they could get them in the ground before
Right at
they
the end of the
leave for
year.
the summer.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, start them at the end of the year and then
Come back in the
Yeah.
fall.
come back in the fall and they've grown,
Yeah,
you know, that,
Is there water there for
Yeah,
someone
there's actually really a pretty convenient water source there.
okay.
who's gonna water 'em?
Well, I was just thinking that, their head maintainer, I can chat with him next week. He's been really supportive and I think that this is something that he would help in that way.
Oh, dairy plants need mucha agua, so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Particularly in
Yeah.
the beginning,
we could,
like I said.
I know I got a ton of T-tape. We could put a row of trickle right there,
Yeah, that worked.
throw a pressure reducer in there and put a network of trickle.
they can just check on it basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can have, I have a little bit of money set aside for irrigation.
okay,
So if we get something.
Okay.
We can put it out there.
okay. Well, I mean, it seems like ideas are kind of flowing, so, is there you said you're gonna have a planning meeting?
Yeah, I mean, we thought we could set a date for, like I said, like a community work day, and then we can do all the planning and what we need and the different jobs for folks.
Mhm.
Yeah, but we'll need to have more planning meetings,
Okay,
what exactly we're gonna do.
okay. I mean, I don't see why we couldn't, I don't think it would be, I wouldn't wanna say we could do 8 4x8 beds. And promise Mike's gonna bring all the material needed to fill it, that's
Oh,
a
yeah.
tall order.
Yeah, no,
But, we could, maybe there's some money to buy half of it. Or some of it could be some used potting soil from me, maybe some parent material to work with, but if
Yeah, we could probably do like 8 yards, that's not, between like, yeah, it's,
between all the, okay,
yeah, we'll make it work.
all right,
why don't I get you like a firm budget of what we can work with too, and then that. And let's
Okay.
know what we got.
yeah, all right,
Okay. And then we can kind of plot out how we're gonna do this.
okay. All right, good. What if you got me that info and we kind of pooled some ideas and kind of came up with, maybe a proposal that we could give to you,
Sure.
okay? For, February or March or something like that.
This is where I wish Mighty were here too, she could be like, she's got ideas too. Yeah, I mean, I don't wanna put too much on y'all either, so
Yeah.
we're in it, we can be part of that.
Yeah.
Meeting too.
Okay, well, why don't you, me and Megan talk and then we'll just put a day together to think about it.
That sounds
All right.
good.
Good.
So is it the 4 frontier towns that are having gardens?
Yeah.
Okay.
And, Frontier Regional too. We're
Oh,
working on those.
For school, elementary, and then, yeah,
Wow, at all schools.
We're trying.
That's awesome.
Have any of the other schools had gardens before or?
Sure, I think there's a statistic on school gardens that in the past, they often cycle in like 3 years. Because they often have like a champion or a couple people in the community are like, we need to do this, and then it happens, and then it kind of.
peters out.
Peters out,
Yeah.
so what we're trying to do is set up gardens in a way that can be more sustainable. Is the goal.
Right.
Yeah, I think I donated something last year for Conway, so they had a good, yeah.
Yeah, we're working on that one, that's gonna be a big garden there.
Yeah, that's the impression I got, yeah.
Yeah, that's a big project, so, yeah, it's exciting.
Neat.
There was something else I wanted to run past Jill. Frontier Regional is doing a career fair, March 25th. And we were wondering if anyone knows of, farms who hire, seniors who have recently graduated. We're looking to have some folks come and be available for students to talk to about employment opportunities. So, I don't know if anyone has ideas about that.
Like all the weeds.
I definitely would, I mean,
Yeah.
one or two,
People
maybe
don't.
for like a summer job,
Yeah.
Seems like.
It's the truth.
should be doing more of that. I always have help kind of on call. It's nice to have like somebody who's just kind of like, if you need them, a few hours to do during the week,
Yeah.
and provide something to do.
Find you.
Jen,
Okay.
and it's Scott Farm.
I can follow up with you.
Yeah, but I'll just say I can definitely be on the list for that.
Okay.
So were you looking for a list of farms that might be looking to, okay,
Well, I think that's more, like, that's one piece of it. And then if there's a farm that's like, we're recruiting
yeah,
students, then you could actually come to the career fair
okay,
and talk to students. And it could even be like, just talking about agriculture as a career path. We're gonna have GCC, Tony Breiber from GCC, come and talk about their program there.
okay.
But this would be more of a like directly into the field, kind of, opportunity or guidance on that.
So the whole thing is, there's so many career paths. I mean, there's plant breeding, entomology, pathology, agronomy, which you can go to school for.
Right.
Not necessarily out there digging up the weeds,
Yeah,
because kids aren't built for that anymore.
well, we need to get them back to
We do.
it. Get them back to you.
Okay, you better break their arms.
Make it tobacco for a summer.
I
And
think
Yeah.
we
It'll
do
make
have
you-
options,
Yeah.
like I think
Yeah.
some kids, like the path that they're on are those, sciences and,
Right,
and a 4-year degree. And then for some kids, they need something right away,
Mhm.
to get into. So we're just hoping to provide something for everyone.
I don't know anybody who hires high school kids anymore.
I hired a high school kid last summer.
There
Okay.
you go.
Back up.
How did it work out?
It's pretty good. It's great. I won't badmouth him here.
That being recorded.
Well,
Yeah.
my son.
But that said, I mean, like, yeah, I do like weeding crews, part-time weeding crews. I won't be here on the 25th, but,
I'm just trying to think of how could we, do we have, how functional is our like email out to all the farms in town list?
I mean, it's current as of last year, so
Yeah.
I don't think there's many new farms that have come to town
Right,
in the last
Right.
6 months.
I mean, I'm just wondering if we should just put that. Just
Yeah,
put that out there, and if anyone, if we could, if maybe,
Yeah.
do you wanna just get the contact info and then
Yeah.
just we send one out from the AgCom email?
Yeah, that would be amazing.
And then just, let us know and we can get you on a list for,
Mhm.
I don't know how to word it exactly, but.
Yeah. I could just draft something and then.
Yeah,
send it
that
to
sounds
you.
good.
Does
Then
that
I
sound?
can
Okay.
blast it out.
So should I send it to that
Yeah.
email?
Yeah,
Okay.
you see that, right?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah, it could go on.
you don't have your own, do you?
No.
Okay, okay.
Do you know Penny and Dan Simorowski? They're in Sunderland, but that's what I picked asparagus for now. So that's.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they do weeding as well, but
Okay.
my focus was asparagus.
Yeah, but they have primarily a Vietnam crew or something. I think,
Do they know?
that they
I
have,
mean, it's changed since I was in high school. I didn't know if they're still doing the high schoolers.
yeah. I think that's what they're using now for their harvest, because their harvest starts in May.
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah, kids are still.
yeah, we were the weekend crew.
and like Hadley, they don't give the day off for the kids anymore, half days or something to go pick asparagus.
Well, John LaSalle hires a lot of young kids for like summer dahlia season. I mean, he, maybe throughout the season too, but
That's good.
uh.
Yep.
And I know his phone number off the top of my head,
I think I've got it too.
back from the days when we all remember phone numbers.
Yeah,
Yeah. Right, that is right. So he would, I don't know if he's looking for more people for next year, but he'd be in the list, so.
Be a
Couldn't
great
hurt.
resource for career days, or,
Mhm.
just to have a list of farms where you could, even if
He might
it's
even
just,
come set up a table.
yeah,
You never know.
It's just part-time work for the summer
Yeah.
after high school.
right, right.
You need to do something and learn to do
Yeah.
something. Some of them don't even know how to push a broom, so
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Thank you. And thanks for drafting that up.
Yeah.
If you send it to that ag email, get it, and I'll just PCC all the farmers and then just put your like contact info and how folks reach out if they're interested.
that's great. I think that was. Those were the things.
Okay.
covered. We also applied for another grant, that would keep us working for another 2 years.
Okay.
We will see.
Well,
Yeah.
What's the source of the,
USDA,
okay,
but it's a specific farm to school grant, and it's, we'll see.
Yep.
I think we're in a good position for it, but you just,
never know, yeah.
great. All right, well, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for
Thank
having me. You'll still have more to do business?
Yep, we got a few more things.
Okay.
You're welcome to stick around. Okay.
Thank you.
Nothing terribly exciting,
No.
so you're not really just, you know.
Catch it meeting later.
Okay, there you go. I will review those thoroughly.
That's it.
Yeah,
You-
yeah.
You're not
I'll
doing
set,
it.
I'll set up a watch. Thanks again.
Thank you.
All right, you see it.
What's your last name?
We'll find out.
Oh.
Should we jump for the admin or do you wanna do farm stand?
let's do admin.
Okay.
Yes, so Tori is leaving. And a woman named Catherine has been hired and I think is probably being hired in the room next door officially right now. And can start working at the time of the next meeting. I have not met Catherine. I was unable to attend the interview, so. So I wanted to talk about any transition needs. Tori's been kind enough to keep coming month after month after month. The municipal hiring process has been fast. So, and one thing that Tori did was this folding pamphlet with all the farms that wanted to be listed on town that was distributed, at Galunga's in the library.
Open all those?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, Amy showed a lot of them as well. She was
You all.
contributed a lot of time, but, so, that's one thing. I don't know if Catherine is someone who's gonna wanna jump right into kind of managing that, cause I think, we kind of need to keep the information a little bit updated, I guess. So it would be smart.
I was gonna double whammy it when I blast everybody about to say, hey, also if your information has changed, let us know. We're putting together the farm pamphlet. And
Okay,
then,
and maybe even attach the pamphlet.
yeah, and be like, if you want any changes, I
That
wanna be
would
including you.
be- Okay, all right, so right there, that's the first key step.
Mhm.
And, we'll just tune Catherine into that process. I was just thinking maybe a couple of us could kind of with Catherine at some point, kind of review all the farms in town. We could just do it at a meeting,
Mhm.
I guess, and,
We could do a side meeting too with her, so she's familiar.
okay. Okay. All right, so maybe it just seems like we'll keep talking about that
Mhm.
and what needs to happen, but
Yeah, does anyone here know how to use Canva? Design software, completely free, all you have to do is tippity tap type right in and 30 a template.
Untrainable.
Okay, because I guess that would be the only thing, but if she's in college, she knows how to use it, so.
okay. All right, well, I guess we'll meet Catherine, you'll meet Catherine.
Yeah, none of us know Catherine, so we're excited to.
Is she local or,
I don't even know, I
I mean, it was something.
We know nothing
right?
about
Yeah.
this.
I meant like,
Absolutely
Hey,
nothing.
my understanding is that they were very experienced and may even have been an admin assistant for some other municipality. Or in some way, but, yeah, no, I had a truckload of produce and a driver tap out at 3:18 in the morning, I think it was.
isn't that lovely?
I spent the day in Connecticut. And that's it, but, so yeah, this will be new, I traded emails, they seem, ready to go. So. So we will meet, Catherine next week, next month rather. Tom, and I guess that sort of, covers the pamphlet handoff, we'll just, manage that as it goes. So we are gonna change our meeting date. I think we all talked about that. Mondays was kind of the consensus.
So next one would be,
Yes. Monday, that would be February. First is a Sunday, that means the 8th is a Sunday, 9th, 10th. Is that right? February the 10th?
9th,
9th, February 9th.
right?
Oh, yeah, Monday.
Monday,
Monday, right, okay,
February 9th.
Same time.
yeah. Can you pull up the Whately town meeting calendar and just see if like the second Monday of the month has got like, if the building is already packed out? That's my only concern is that we'll just be like.
That's the Tuesday.
Yeah, oh no, the Monday rather, like,
I can only see right now, once we stop the meeting, I can check the other town. I can see the town of Whately doesn't have, because there's two accounts, I can't see one of them. I
okay.
don't think, because I don't wanna lose this meeting.
My only concern is that the building will be full and we'll have to. Pick another Monday, the first or third or something like that, but let's, let me work on that. Let me just confirm the second Monday in February, second Mondays in general there will be meeting space available for us. But other than that, so let's just plan on that other.
Sounds good.
And then the last thing we were gonna talk about here, I wanna, this group occasionally gets asked for an opinion about rules as they apply to farms in town, how farms interface with the rest of the town government and the town. And so I thought it would be kind of smart to sort of look at things like, let's, we all kind of think we know what the right to farm bylaw is, but let's really look at it, let's read it, and I think that's gonna happen, as we kind of explore the sign that we're gonna have made, that Dave's made. And there are, zoning rules for retail farms that kind of interrupt the normal zoning rules in town. And I think everybody knows a little bit about it. And Mike is on the planning board, and so has a front row seat for any conversations about that kind of thing. So what do you know about it?
So there's been no formal complaining, but there's been rumblings, of the former 5J Creamy, which is now Simmers, that basically since they've opened every year, they have continued to scale down to where now they have no produce, it's just food. It's not a gray area, but it's, can be a little confusing because they are technically a farm stand, which gives you a lot of leeway. But you can't, sell furniture,
Yeah.
and you're supposed to be selling your products, but the rules have never stated that you can only sell what you grow, because that's not reasonable. Like if a farmer grows whatever, sweet corn and tomatoes, he's gonna 5 heifers from his neighbor, and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So I think apparently they have been, Brant was gonna send me a letter that was sent to Zimmerowski's about this a year or so, before I was on the planning board, so a year or so ago.
And it was sent by the Whately planning. Board?
I believe so, yeah, I didn't get the email, so I'm not totally positive. But again, there's been no formal complaint. The planning board does have some obligation to look out for these things in town.
Yeah.
My quick opinion on it is that if they showed any sign of just making an attempt, it would probably just go away.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone wants to see them get forced out or anything like that. It's more of, like when JM first started, there were pumpkins and mums and,
Pick your own strawberries.
right. So even if 90% of what they were doing was selling hamburgers and hot dogs, they put on a good show. And I think that's,
Yeah, I mean, they turned a lot of veg through there too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of where it stands now. I think the planning board is kind of looking for the ag, to advise, which is what we're kind of here for, right?
Yeah.
To not just advise the selectmen, but to advise any other board in town.
Yeah, right. Do you know if the Whately bylaws that allow, so basically farm stands, if you're selling your own stuff, farm stands can kind of work out of a residential area.
Correct.
That's
I
sort of.
think it's zoned ag residential, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Ag zone.
Yep.
So. And then the lines get a little cloudy around how much of the stuff is your own too, right?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be the primary, some type of wording.
50%.
Yeah,
My understanding was that it
Yeah.
was like, it had to be a half.
right.
I don't know if, and then it was like, well, half in dollars, half in volume. I think you kind of have to just,
I don't think it's anything anyone is really trying to like, no one's gonna go in there and nail that number right
No,
down,
yeah.
so I think it's, yeah,
yeah,
it's a loosely enforced term is, I don't really know how else to describe it.
yeah, right. It's, self enforcing or something. Right?
Yeah.
So, right, so it just is regulating.
Yeah, self-regulating, just, it's not an honor system, but it's just. Yeah, I think if you're selling vegetables and you're a farm, I mean, you're selling milk and you milk cows, I mean, you put 2 and 2 together, it's pretty simple.
Yeah, I mean, what I was kind of thinking about it is like, I think maybe when some of these rules were created, these exceptions to let, things were kind of a little bit different. It's not like
Right.
this family grows plenty of vegetables. It's
Yep.
just not there. And
Right.
it's not stuff that would lend itself
To be sold,
to retail farms.
correct, 100%,
So it is a farm family. They're selling mostly ice cream, which is a farm product, right? I mean,
Sure.
They don't have milk the cows themselves, but.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like. Someone who wasn't farming opened an ice cream place.
right,
And. Was gonna sell vegetables that they bought from area farms and then kind of never did that part and really only just had the ice cream place. This is a family that grows 800 acres of vegetables.
yeah,
And,
but it's basically, the problem with it is that they're basically running a restaurant saying it's a farm stand.
yeah,
That's the problem.
yeah.
Well, that's actually not the problem. The problem is that they're doing this in a place that's zoned properly for that. If it was commercial, no problem.
Well, they have a sign out there advertising farm stand,
Right.
so they.
Yeah.
Or advertising, bringing in back to farms.
And I think some of the other issues, and this is, again, just an opinion. It seems to me that when 5J Creamy opened there, no one really seems to know whether that was even done legally or, I mean? I think it was kind of just done and forgiveness was asked after. So is there something grandfathered in? Is there, and there's none of that is spelled right out
Not
in plain English for
documented.
us to know. You know, and then Simmer's buying something, it's not like they started it, so that adds to the confusion. And I think what the planning board is kind of asking from us is, should the regulation be changed? Should it, you know,
Well,
you know,
that's, yeah, right, that's kind of a funny one, you know.
What is at stake? Like them paying more for the taxes of the land that it's on?
no,
Or
they
just
would,
not being
so I
able
mean,
to
if
do
they're basically in violation, they would be ordered to shut down.
Shut down because it is, the
Because they're-
specific zone is not for.
Right, because they're not selling any
And they're not,
vegetables.
okay.
Well, could they be, could the land be
Can they rezone
changed
that?
commercial for them? Cause I think a lot of people would miss that place in town here.
100%, yeah, that's why I think, like, if they just make an attempt, it's just, the problem's just gonna,
Squash out.
yeah, it's gonna go away. But, you know, they have a spot right next to where the ice cream window is, that was set up, you know, when it first became Simmers, young Teddy was selling vegetables there,
Yeah.
there was stuff in there.
Right.
And so I think that just,
Does someone talk to them about this? I mean. it's
yes,
something
they've
they're
been,
aware of it.
yeah, yeah, and said that, you know, it was gonna get remedied and so. But you also can't just snap your, you know,
Sure, yeah.
you know, maybe this spring, all of a sudden, there's gonna be a whole bunch of stuff there, they just need to get organized, I have no idea.
Yeah.
But,
Cause Teddy has over his stand in Sunderland, he's got the flowers and.
Yeah.
And all that.
yeah, exactly,
too.
right,
Mhm.
They wanna do it, it could be done.
yeah, and even if it's just a quarter of what he's doing over there, you could. You know, it's like his
Yeah.
farm stand over there is a perfect example of what is supposed to be going on. You know, he sells ice cream, he sells Polish food, but he sells flowers and all kinds of vegetables.
Greenhouse there.
Yeah, exactly, yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think when they kind of made the exception, the image was all these small farm families would sell whatever they grew on the side of the road, you know, it was
Yeah.
like, there used to be signs up, you know, Lennox had beets, you know,
Yeah.
Mike's had potatoes, you know. and-
much like, you know, John Byszewski's doing, he put up the roadside,
Yeah,
you know.
the Home Depot shed and filled with corn. and beets.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's exactly right, and that's was the intention of I think that was the vision
Right,
of what it would look like. You know, but agriculture has changed, there aren't as many farms,
Sure.
people specialize and.
Yeah.
I've also seen an increase in non-farmers opening farm stands and buying in everything. You know, we provide stuff to a lot of different farm stands that are non-farmers that are just buying everything and just to resell. I mean, not in Whately, but I'm curious how their zoning deals with that. You know, technically they're a farm stand, but they don't grow any of it themselves. So they're more like a grocer or, you know, I don't know how they.
Retail store.
Yeah,
yeah,
I know.
That's for a different conversation, but it's interesting.
Yeah, right,
But do we need it,
I think for the moment,
to
it's,
send them a kind of a reminder that. Yet the new year is coming and what are your plans or we're going to be, or concerned about this? Or
I think they should be notified in writing, I think it's a good idea.
I think the
Yeah.
planning board has communicated with them.
yeah, I believe, let me just look at my,
I think I wanted Mike to discuss this only so that we were aware of the issue, I guess, and to kind of get our minds around what the rules are. I think what has happened is that the nature of farms and agriculture has changed since some of these exceptions were made. And I think you know, this is a farming family. Yeah, they should put on a retail show there. And make sure they take a lot of pictures.
yeah, so they were given a letter in the 4th of January of 2024 from the Whately Planning Board. Basically saying, kind of reviewing the rules that you have here. And it's 20, they have to grow 25% of what they sell, and then 50% of the remaining has to come from Massachusetts farms. Again, I think it's a pretty loose, like, no one's gonna check any of this, it's more of.
Yeah.
You know,
It's more the display, really.
yeah, I mean, yeah, you're making an attempt to. Yeah, I mean, you could argue, like you said, Doug, like, it's ice cream, you know, it's hamburgers, I grow beef. It's hot dog, you know, everything comes from somewhere, but again, that was not like the vision
Yeah,
of the.
some of it too is the watering down of like, what is a farm stand? You know, is a
Right.
farm stand just hamburgers and hot dogs, or is it produce that's grown in the local area, you know,
I mean, in a way, that road. I mean, does Whately need another retail farm?
sure, yeah, there's lots of.
It's just, it's kind of
Yeah,
like,
the other ones around are probably glad that they're not.
you know, if people come for the, come somewhere else for the sweet corn on the way home, you know, you know, that's the other part of it. It's not, you know, it's not Lunenburg, or, you know, it's not any Marlboro where there's 40,000 people.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
So,
but it'd be a shame to lose that if it was just a zoning issue. So I think a lot of people do utilize that ice cream stand.
Yeah, and I think that the idea is to not have that happen. Like,
right, no, nobody wants.
Right.
It, everybody wants it to exist. It has to just exist within the framework of the rules that are out there.
so we have a planning board meeting at the end of this month. We haven't discussed this a lot because we've been dealing with the best and everything. The battery storage stuff, so we are gonna discuss it, that's the plan. And then Brant may want to present something to the AgCom on our next meeting next month. With kind of, you know, what does the planning board actually want from the AgCom? Do we want,
Yeah,
you know?
are they ready for us to actually answer a particular question?
Right, so I brought it up tonight so that everybody can kind of just ponder on it and.
Yeah.
Um,
And this is a good example of what the AgCom does in town. You know,
Right.
we may be able to steer, you know, the planning board to accommodate farm stands with different language. You
Yeah.
know, and participating in that is why it's good to have an AgCom,
Great.
so.
yeah, so hopefully next meeting we will have, like, I'll be able to come in with something printed out of the exact part of the bylaw that we need to be concerned with. Because as you can imagine, it's written in practical gibberish. You know,
Legally.
yeah, we need to like pull out what actually matters to what we're talking about. That's, yeah,
Right.
then I haven't been doing this long enough to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm very curious as to whatever the language is, whenever it was adopted. You
yeah,
know, how far back are we talking?
Yeah.
Who's the enforcer of, say they didn't make any changes and they just kind of kept on doing what they're doing and
so if,
there was
if
an actual complaint,
like anyone could make a formal complaint.
anyone in town?
The building inspector would then go and shut them down,
I
basically.
see.
Yeah.
Make it official.
Yep,
Oh, okay. That's
They
good.
don't have to get permits, right, full permits from the town and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Why would anybody make a complaint?
yeah, there hasn't been like,
You said there's some rumbling or something.
yeah, apparently there was I think there was a select board member or something along those lines, a town
Who
official.
doesn't eat ice cream, right?
Drove by.
Yeah,
They're doing that.
Yeah, well, I just think it was more like, you know, hey, I don't see anything there anymore, like, what's going on?
Well, I mean,
And there is some, like, you know, like the planning board, like you have a moral obligation to enforce the laws that you came up with.
Not
So,
And a lot of people think that's where it should be.
right,
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 not ignore the elephant in the room.
exactly, and that's. I think it was, again, like I've only been on the planning board since the summer, so But I believe it's been tried, they tried to deal with this already a couple times. Behind closed doors or under the radar or whatever, and it hasn't seemed to get anywhere yet, so.
Right,
This in general or that specific?
This
Yeah.
problem.
right, yeah, tough one.
Yeah.
Well, it is what it is, you know?
It is.
Yeah.
And so. You take steps to remedy it or not. And
Right.
It's that simple.
Mike, do you know if they responded to that letter at all?
I don't believe they did.
No, well, that's sort of,
No, I
that's
was.
sort of a new face sort of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah. None of them lives in Whately.
Yeah. All right, well, I guess we should, yeah, we'll just continue the discussion next month and take it from there. All right, well, I guess unless we got anything else.
the ethics,
Yes.
yeah. Was it ethics, right?
I think it
Ethics
was,
training?
yes. So did you all get an email?
Yes,
Okay,
I thought I got an email because of the garden committee,
you may have,
yeah.
but,
But my understanding is that I'm still covered under the one that I did last year.
one of them
But I
take,
don't know if
you
I
have to
take it.
update it every year, it'll take you 10 minutes.
Okay, the one I keep getting email says it'll take an hour, which is fine,
Well, that's the one you have to do every 2 years.
yeah. But is that does that cover me for every committee, or is that I should do one for each?
No, I
It looked like the same thing, and
I think once you create your account,
yeah,
if you are get on another committee and you're appointed, it should automatically
Okay.
just exempt you, I think, if you're updated. Mine wasn't doing.
try to get into my account and look at it.
Yeah, I had to reset my password.
Yeah, that's what I'll have here.
I wanna say
So, yeah, so, if you need help complying with that ethics stuff, I'm sure you'll come in.
this is the conflict of interest.
Yes.
Okay, so I did get an email, yeah,
Okay.
saying I need it, so it must be the 10-minute one.
I
I don't think I ever did a 10-minute one, to be honest, so.
Well, because you can do it in like 10 seconds if you.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll try to.
I'll look at that. It'll take you 10 minutes to read it, it'll take you 10 seconds.
Seconds to do it, yeah,
So
it's all pretty straightforward.
yeah, I mean, it's not, it might be worth 10 minutes of your time. Not a bad thing to review, but. All right, well, I guess I'll move to adjourn.
We'll go adjourn.
All right, at 8 or whatever it is.
7-Eleven.
So, yes, that's.
7:11.
Perfect. All right.